The character of a man is not measured in how he handles his wins, but what he does with his failures. And tonight, we failed. And everybody says, when you get these inner city kids down, they'll lay over and you'll beat them by 40. Not us. Everybody will say they're 0-1. They're going to fold up camp. They'll be 2-8 by the end of this thing. No! Not us.
Part of me always feels a little sad when I hear someone proudly declare that they don't like or have never played sports of any kind. I guess some people think of sports as the realm of asshole jocks and meathead fans. But if you've ever played sports, you know that they aren't all about winning and that they can teach valuable life lessons in an emotional, refreshingly unintellectual way, like teamwork, perseverance, selflessness, and humility. And if you've ever been caught up watching or playing in a close game, you know that sports provide an unparalleled stage for human drama. All of these are present in Undefeated, the Oscar-nominated documentary that follows the 2009 season of the Manassas High School football team of North Memphis, as they attempt to win their first playoff game in more than a century, but more importantly, to learn the life skills that will give them a future. Manassas High is in a black neighborhood that's been devastated by the closure of a nearby Firestone tire factory. The film's main focus is Coach Bill Courtney, the successful owner of a lumber business who volunteers virtually all of his free time to the team, often at the expense of his own family, whether it's devising game plans or making sure his players don't become victims of their circumstances. Undefeated focuses on 3 players who exemplify this, starting with OC, a friendly, surprisingly quick 300-pound senior left tackle, who's a shoo-in for a football scholarship if he can get his grades up. Montrell, aka Money, is an undersized offensive lineman who overachieves on the field and in the classroom until an injury threatens his season, his academic future, and even his identity. Chavis is an imposing junior with an explosive temper who must learn to channel his anger into tackling opponents or end up in jail. But since Courtney is white and all of his players are black, describing Undefeated sounds like the most condescending and arguably racist of movie cliches. The benevolent white person who comes in to save the poor brown people, which is practically its own genre of film, including 2009's The Blind Side, 1995's Dangerous Minds, as well as 2012 Best Picture nominee The Help. Even if these films are based on true events, it's hard not to view them cynically as Hollywood's attempts to absolve themselves of generational white guilt for the horrible treatment minorities have suffered from institutionalized racism that so benefited the white majority. But Courtney is no saint, often swearing at his players and struggling to control his anger and frustration with them. We learn that Courtney's desire to be a father figure to his players, most of whom don't have male role models in their lives, is not an act of social justice, but largely an overcompensation for the fact that his own father left his family when he was young. The issue of white people only caring about black kids if they play sports comes up, but you can just as easily see that as coaches recognizing and nurturing athletic talent, just as a science teacher might give extra help to a star science student. If Undefeated can be accused of ignoring race, it's only because the coaches and players seem to ignore it too. And I didn't see any proof that Courtney and his staff would behave any differently if the players were in similar circumstances but were white. What we see in Undefeated is a coach who loves football, cares about the welfare and future of his players on and off the field, and has a steadfast belief that the qualities that will help his players become an overachieving team will also make them overachieving adults, even if they don't win the big game. Early on, Courtney says, quote, "You think football builds character? It does not. It reveals character." It's a powerful idea that transcends race and extends beyond sports, and it's beautifully illustrated in Undefeated, which is why I gave it a What the Flick rating of 9. I'm Jonathan Kim for What the Flick.